Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the new Eternia figures, Too Bad. Now, I always thought Too Bad was a unique figure, how you have like two guys split together and a whole design to them. And then I really got interested in this character when the 2000X He-Man series did the story on him, and I kind of liked the whole, thing that Skeletor bonded them together as a curse due to them not being able to work well together. So, between the uniqueness of the figure and that storyline, I kind of really grown to like this character a lot. So, with that being said, first off, I want to say thank you to everybody who have subscribed. You're very much appreciated. And for anybody who watches this video and likes it, who hasn't subscribed yet, then I please ask that you subscribe and also check out my Masters of the Universe playlist. So, without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, so here he is in packaging. You got pretty much your standard Masterverse packaging. So you got Masters of the Universe here, his name Too Bad, Mattel. You have this open window so you can see him, all his accessories. You got your 30 points of articulation up here. Get blocked out by the light. You got your skew tilted up this way. You got the Masterverse spinning around here. You got Too Bad. Bring around to the back. All right, you get some pretty cool artwork. I do like this picture of them. That's pretty cool. It's kind of mild to most of your Masters of the Universe artwork, but it isn't bad. You got New Eternia up there. Too Bad. You have a little bit about him. All the figures that are part of this wave. And the Mattel logo. Spin them around here. Get this pretty cool looking picture of them. I like this picture. That looks pretty neat. And then underneath you got your legal and skew. So with all that being said, let's open them up and see what he's about. All right, so here he is out of packaging. Overall, I love the overall look to him. I think he looks really cool. There's a lot of really neat details to this figure. First off, I really like the distortion to his body. So when you look at him, you can see this part of his body is higher than the other part. So it kind of gives him that, it looks like he isn't meant to be like this, which he isn't. This was cursed on him by Skeletor. So this body is higher and disproportionate to that side of his body. So I like how they actually put that in there with him. So let's start off with the rotation. All right. So first off, you have this side. A lot of really cool detail going on here. So he has a shoulder piece here with a point on it. His hand is more metallic and robotic. Now you lift this up. You got the laser pistol holster here. Now I like the design to his legs. There's some really cool design here. It looks like how bare muscle would look, like without skin. Like you see pictures of like muscle without skin. It has this kind of design to it. So I really like how they did that. That looks really cool. It's all throughout his body, his arms, and what have you. He has some more metallic looking feet. Spin them around here. All right, you got the back. So you got this little holster here for one of their weapons. I think you could use it for one of the two maces. We'll look more into that when we get into the weapon part of it. But yeah, even when you look here, you look right here, you can see that even his skin is raised up. So it almost looks like he was ripped out of his body. Because if you look at this side of him, it's like skin. He actually has skin. Where it looks like he doesn't have skin. That this is just all bare muscle. You can see that a little bit better down here too. So you could actually see that the skin portion is raised opposed to his side, which is lower, which looks like bare muscle. So that's some really cool detailing if you think about that. I really like that. All right. Spin him around to this side. Now you have him, and once again, like I said earlier, he has a skin tone, like a reptilian skin. So you see all the diamond shapes and stuff. You got a couple fins to his muscles. Let's lift this arm up so you can see a little bit of his leg a little bit better. He has gauntlets, leg guard. and bare reptilian feet. So he has the skin look, the other one has the bare muscle look. So that is a neat effect that they added to him. So bring them back around to this way. All right, you got each head. All right, so you look at this head on either side. Some really nice detail to that one. The same with this head. You know, they look pretty much like they should. His belt is even duality as well. So you have the blue side and the purple side and what have you. So he's a really cool looking figure. They really put some thought into him. I like the thought process behind this figure overall. So now let's start getting into his points of articulation. So as you saw earlier, the heads do move. All right, you got a shoulder joint here with a swivel and an elbow joint as well as a wrist. The other side is basically the same. You know, you got your swivel, your elbow, and your wrist. All right. He does have a joint underneath the ribs as well as a hip joint. So all that moves pretty well. All right, spin them around this way. You do have a thigh joint with a swivel. All right, you got a knee joint. You should have a swivel at the top of the boot. And then an ankle joint. Now let's go to this side, because this side, even though it looks different, it's all the same stuff. So you have your thigh joint, your swivel, your knee, your top swivel, and then you have your ankle. So everything works pretty fine on him. I don't have any issues with any of his joints. I definitely love the way this figure looks overall. All right, so he does come with a bunch of accessories. All right, let's get this arm down real quick. So first off, he comes with two fists, one for each side. So you have your reptilian fist here, and then you have your metallic fist. All right, you have a mace. All right. You have another mace. You have a two-sided axe. And this is kind of neat because it matches up with his belt buckle. So I find that pretty cool. So this side here has a more reptilian look. This one has more of an eagle look to it. And if you look, they kind of give it this like oxidized what the heck is it called? Copper look. All right, bronze look. So it looks like it was like metal that oxidized over. You could kind of see a little bit of that goldish green to it. So that's pretty neat. I like the detail to that. He has a laser pistol. And last but not least, he has a shield. Now, the neat thing about this shield is that when you spin it around, it actually has a piece that it slides into. The original Too Bad, it was actually just a hook, like a little clamp, and it just clamps onto his arm. So that's pretty neat that they actually converted it over to straps. So now let's start putting some of this stuff on. So let's do the pistol first. All right, bring this arm around. Now, the fingers on him don't move very much, but it is enough to get it in there, all right? So the pistol fits fine with him. I don't have any issues with that. You could probably go both hands with this, so let's try the other hand. There you go. So it will work with both hands. No issues with that. And like I showed you earlier, the holster is over on this side. It just pops right in there like this. All right. So now let's do this weapon here. All right, so you got to work it around the thumb. All right, get it in there properly. So That mace fit in his hand fine. No issues. This one looks like it's more made for this side. So it should pop in just like the other one. So I popped it in through the top and just slide it on down. So they both work very well with him. I have no issues with that. All right. Remove them. So they popped out pretty well. Now you have your two-headed axe. And it should go in pretty much the same way how I did the other ones, right through the top. No issues with that. All right. And you could go either hand with that. All right. And now you have your shield. That just slides right up in here. Eventually. You know what you might have to do for the shield? Pop the arm off. Put the shield in. There you go. And you know what? Let's get our closed hand while we're at it. So we could pop that on as well. Getting everything to line up. It's a little bit of a pain. All right. That's in there. Okay. So I find it to be easier if you want to put the shield on, just take the hand off. That way you could get that this smaller piece on there a little bit better. Okay. And as you saw, I swapped out the hand. The hand wasn't no problem. Let's switch out this other one. They're a little bit tight, but they do swap out pretty easy like. So there you go. Both hands swapped out. So all his accessories fit him pretty well. I don't have any issues with any of his accessories. Now, the one thing I almost forgot to do was check his weapons in the back here. Now, this thing's on a swivel. So I guess that means you can have it pointing to whatever side you want. So let's see how well this one fits in here. All right, so that clips on there pretty nicely. No issues. Spin it however you want it. All right, let's try this one. There you go. No issues with that. And now the battle axe. So that clips in there as well. So all three of his melee weapons work well with this. I kind of wish that he had a spot for everything. So he could clip one on here and maybe have two hanging off the back or something. But for whatever reason, they made a spot just for one. They all work with it. So I don't have any issues with that. So my final thoughts on this, guys, I really like him. I think he's really cool. I like the attention to detail to him. So first off, all his joints and everything moved fine. I didn't have any issues with any of that. All his accessories fit on him pretty well. I didn't have any issues with any of that. Probably the one thing I would like to have seen him add was maybe two spots for the weapon so you could put both maces on his back. But, you know, that's just a personal preference. Now, the one thing I really dig about this figure is the attention to detail. I love the factor that they make it look like the blue part of him, I forget what his actual name is, looks like he actually ripped out of him, opposed to this side that looks like, you know, this was like the outside and then he ripped out. Because the skin on this, like I showed earlier, makes it look like he looks like muscle. So his body looks like muscle and his body looks like skin and it looks like he's ripped out of it. Now, with most of your other two faces, all it really is like a woogly line down the middle. You know, it just makes it look like the two were combined, where this one, it looks like a totally different thing. It makes you wonder how hard and rough the process was when Skeletor cursed him into this. So I like that extra attention to detail with this particular two-bat. I really like this guy. So would I recommend him? The answer is yes. I would definitely recommend him to go with your Masters of the Universe collectibles. So with that being said, I hope you all did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my Masters of the Universe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So, into the next one. Late. He is a pretty cool.